Okay, we are live. So sorry about that. I just had to check on my student because I didn't see her online. So I just had to find out if she was all right. You know, that is the human thing to do, right? All right, so I want to restart. We're going to continue. So, like I said, this is of my students' painting. So, what I did, sorry about that, you guys. What I did was I took a duplicate and I reproduced it so that I can show how I painted certain areas and so that she can watch and she can observe. And that's why we're here, because we're all trying to be better, right? So this video is actually about just painting a portrait from a distance. And that is so key. Painting a portrait from a distance is not the same as painting it when it's up close. Up close, you've got all the details. Distance, it's almost like you close your eyes or you squint your eyes to look at that person. And that is your distant shot. Do you know what I mean? All right, so like I said, I've got this is my reference. And this is who we're painting. So this is my reference, and I'm actually going to see if I can pin it here. Oh well, we're just going to go right there. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in a little bit, and I won't be doing much talking. I'm really going to be doing a lot of just showing where the light is, because it's the light that shows us who we are. It's the light in the portrait that shows us who we are. And if you don't see the light, just look for it. You'll find it. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. Sorry about that. Remember, it's the light that shows the light and the dark equally. They paint a picture. Great. Welcome, Leslie. I see that you're here. That's awesome. Awesome. I knew you could do it. You're such a warrior. You are a warrior. All right, so just sort of, like I said, this is for a distant shot. And to still get the expression and to still get the essence of the person. It's all about the light. And it's all about the dark. And I know that looks a little, on screen it looks a little yellowish. Let's see if I could find some of my pink. It's really more pinky. And when you're doing a distant shot, it doesn't have to be very detailed. It just has to be indications, suggestions. That's all. So this is who I'm painting, right? So we're just working on doing a distant shot for one of my She's an amazing student. She's a great artist, and this is actually her painting. And we're just trying to, just want to show her that it's possible to make sure to bring in the person that you want to bring in, even though it's small. You can do that. I know, I'm still here. I'm still here. Oh my gosh, this gets so amazing to me. So, like I said, this is a distant shot. And distant shots, they just require an understanding in your head of what you're trying to portray. It doesn't have to be exact at all because it's a distant shot. But really, what it calls for is your understanding of what's going on. And then when you have that, like, where's the light coming from? Like, a little bit of light is coming from there. And you want to create a shadow or darkness. But I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to just... Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit off the sides over here because I think it's just a. Okay, so Leslie, if you're on, could you please text me and say you're on YouTube? Could you in the chat? If you could just, if you are there, please text me and let me know that you're on in the chat of the YouTube thingy, and then I'll know. Because this is for my dear, 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 amazing, amazing artist and promoter, Leslie. So please text me in the chat of YouTube if you are on. Oh, good. Oh, you text me on my phone. That's funny. Got it. Sorry. So you see, I'm just sort of. I think the key thing is to decide on the pose that you want. Decide on the look that you want. Is he smiling? Is he not? What's happening, you know? And then, gotcha. I saw that. Thank you. Huh. I wonder if my chat is on. Let me make sure. Yes, my chat is on. Make sure your chat is on. Someone just posted a response a few minutes ago, so make sure your chat is on. So the basic thing here is to show, look for the light, just to get the basic of the face, you know? Look for the light and the dark. And you know what? I want to apologize to you, Leslie, because last week when we did this, I was painting your background with a small brush, and and you were painting your background with a small brush, and I was like, no, you got to paint with a larger brush, larger areas. And I realized that your painting is way bigger than my duplicate, and that's why I was using a smaller brush. Hope that makes sense. And sometimes with doing these distance shots, you don't have to do too much like I'm doing right now. Try not to do this much. I'm just, you want it to. And when I say not doing too much, I mean try not to do too much detail. I think that is what I'm trying to say. Don't do too much detail. The biggest thing is the lights and the darts because those are what give form. That's what gives form. It's the lights and the darks. So essentially, doing distance shots is a, a collaboration with doing layers, lots of layers. Okay, let's see. I kind of have him looking downward. Let's see if I could get him looking more at us. Yeah. And the other thing you have to decide is which age range do you want this to be? So you kind of have to like decide, do you want him to be in 20s? Do you want him to be in his 50s? You know, for a long distance shot. You have to make those decisions, and to make the decisions also and decide, what do I want him to be saying? You know, what is that? Because as you have that intention will help the painting. It will help tell the story that you're trying to tell. That's the most important thing to me. What's the story? What am I trying to say? What is he trying to say? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a break from him at the moment. We're going to let him dry because a part of creating layers is allowing the layers to dry so that you could go on to other things, because otherwise it gets murky. Have you ever had paintings where it was just like murky? That's because, I know, me too. And that's because, you have to always be conscious and aware of letting them dry. All right, so what I'm going to do, we're just going to swing on over to the back. So we're just going to give the back a little bit of I think you might have taken some of these out, Leslie. Some of the branches out. I'm just going to sort of mix a little bit. Because I think the pink is lovely, the way you did the pink. I think the pink is very lovely. But, you want to use a little bit of that pink. But you might have taken your pink out. I think you did last week. It adds a little bit of drama if you put that little white, like right there on top of your bushes. And then sort of mix it in a little bit. And maybe a little bit here. Because you want to create where the eye just kind of goes like, zoop, kind of like that. Kind of like, so the eye will naturally go from him to all through here. That's always very lovely. Okay. Now, because this is not a completely, well, I'm sorry, hold that thought. I saw something else I wanted to tackle. So this, and Leslie, I know that you're on, and I know that for you, you're so great. That red is gorgeous, and I don't have access to that red right now, but we're gonna improvise a little bit. Oh my gosh, now your dad looks like James Dean's friend or something. Let's go back to him just for a moment. And I gotta tell you, you know how some artists do that thing? I only do it because I'm just trying to hold my balance. I'm not trying to look cute or anything. It's just trying to hold my balance on there. That's another little side tip. Now, again, I'm going to go around his head and just sort of clean this part up a little bit. And you can always like blend that later. A lot of times the lights and the darks are what make the person. It's where the light shines on their face. That's what makes, because we all have two eyes, you know, a nose, a mouth, and ears, but we're all made slightly different, and our bones are a little bit different, so it's sometimes where does the light kind of shine? Like where on their bone Does it shine? And it doesn't have to be a big one, just a little bit. Excuse me, I'm hungry. I hope, did you all hear my stomach just make all that noise? Oh my gosh. Oh, so sorry. Oh my gosh, whose stomach is that? Mm. So I'm not really sure which year we're gonna do here, but as far as his age, so we're just sort of gonna. We're just going to give a suggestion of everything. And depending on his age, will kind of depend on where the light falls. So, meaning the age that you want him in this story. I might have made him look really super duper young, Leslie, so I'm not really sure which one we're using, but as long as it tells the story of who he is, you know? Okay, so I want to go over a little bit about what I did. So what I did was, we took the basic jawline, the basic bone structure, which was this one. This is the one we took. Basic structure. So I kind of have him a little tight there. He could probably be a little older because he's a little older here. I've made him very young there. And let's see if I can fix that. Let me see if I can adjust that. Okay, so let's go back with let's do a little bit of background. Get that. You can always go back over the branches, of course. But the white, I like the white, and just not in every little opening, but just in some of them. It just creates this nice drama. So it starts white here, as you can see. And then the rest just gets, it just fades back into the color. So it doesn't stay white. You know? Yeah. Because this beautiful truck is just, it's just awesome. It's awesome. And with him there, it is also awesome. So you've created just a great composition. And this is for my student Leslie. She just did a fantastic job. And I love how willing Leslie is. Even though it may be uncomfortable, she goes out. She's willing to, take a chance, which is really heroic, really. Now this blue here, you can always go over. Let me get that in the shot. You can always, like, once it dries a little bit, you can go over it and blend it a little bit. But I like the drama. Do you like the drama? I like the drama of the white. I think that, well, I know that just gives it bam. You want things to go bam. But it doesn't have to go all over. And that's where sometimes we overwork it as artists. We kind of go, no, let's do white here, 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 and here. And you're like, ah! You see things and you're like, oh my gosh, that's like way, it gets to the point where it could look trite. And you want it to look like as though the viewer just took a glimpse, a quick glimpse, and they're like, oh, look, you know? So, Les, you cannot chat, right? She cannot. So, I guess what we'll do is, Leslie, I'll just meet you over at, let's do FaceTime for a few minutes. I'll just meet you there, all right? So this video is going to be for you, and it's going to be listed as private. It's going to be unlisted, and you will have the only link to it. Does that make sense? All right. Thank you so much, Leslie. You are just painting your father. Oh, my gosh. Let me see if you can see that. It looks much better closer. Can you see that? All right. All right. Thank you so much, Les. I'll talk to you in a second. All right. Bye-bye.